I got divorced, I thought it was the end of my life. I thought I would lose the connection with my kids. I thought no one would ever date me because I was a failure, having lost my family, which meant the world to me. But it turned out to be my awakening. What I thought was an exposure of my most powerless self for all the world to see turned out to be the springboard of my happiest and most powerful decade ever. I became stronger as a woman. I had to, in fact, I had the privilege to take stock of who I was, free of the habits of being in a relationship. I got to choose how I wanted to spend my evenings, my weekends, how I wanted to eat, what I wanted to read. Two of my adult kids left home at that time and one was at uni, and I now had more time to myself to develop and build my confidence. I read books about relationships, attended workshops on self-expression, internet business building, and discovered whole new skills and communities I never would have found before. I became stronger as a woman as I dug deep and reached for gold. Solo meal times became learning times as I delved into what it means to be an authentic leader and writer. And because I had my kids living away, every minute became more precious when we did get together. But more important than all of that, my kids got to see their mum in her deepest vulnerability rebuild her life. They saw me nervously preparing for dating again. And as I got to know myself better and know my core values, we sat together and talked about how to choose a great partner with the same core values. If, as Brené Brown says, vulnerability is the measure of our courage, I became damn courageous. If a date didn't work out, we'd chat about it and reflect on life, hope, heartbreak, and resilience. I became stronger in my business. Up until my divorce, I'd been playing small in my business, but now needed to create a steadier income. By necessity, I threw myself into entrepreneurial training and created an authentic business that has sustained me. One of the proudest moments of my life was when my then 23-year-old daughter, watching me on a radio show, said, "You know, Mum, a lot of people talk about getting successful, but you're doing something about it." In fact, I wasn't trying to get successful, I was just trying to pay the bills. But above all, I became stronger as the driver of my life. And when we're married, we fall into habit and can potentially stop taking responsibility for forging our own destinies. We may just drift along rather than carve new and exciting channels into our futures outside of our comfort zones. I soon began to reframe everything. I stopped saying when I got divorced and started saying when I got single, because I didn't want to identify with being a divorced woman, but rather a woman who was single and was looking forward and not backwards. And I corrected those who said that a woman with kids had baggage. Instead, I encouraged the perspective that a woman's children are a bonus. They're people that I get to love and adore in this lifetime. They're the best ever. And I undertook the study of what makes love thrive, what makes life worth living, and what it means to be inspired during these years we have on earth. I challenged everything. I travelled to places on my dream list of St. Lucia and San Francisco, and I'm now in a relationship of 8 years long who raises me to my highest self every day. And at the end of my post-divorce decade, I told my kids, if I died today, please don't mourn me. I've had the most amazing life and celebrate that I was here. And that's why I love working with clients who also wish to reach their full potential and die without regret. Years ago, I believed money would bring me meaning until I discovered that the greatest meaning comes from helping others create meaningful lives. And that's why I became a coach and author. If you wish to work with me and would like a free clarity conversation, click the link below.